We talk a lot about tactics, we talk a lot about strategies, we talk a lot about content creation, messaging, branding, live streaming, podcasting, social media. We talk about algorithms, we talk about, hacks on, the different myriad forms of content creation. But at the epicenter of your success, in the title of this stream, let me know if you can see the title of this stream, Luis. The epicenter of your success is how you adapt this dude and marry it with this dude right here. I'm talking about the dude inside your chest. Yes! Yes, indeed. We've got Flash in your pan. Thank you so much for sharing on Twitter. Luis, I really appreciate that. Good to see you. Yes, just got home from work. Perfect. Perfect timing, brother. Fantastic. Smash that like button. Hit that like button as many times as you can. I am so excited to see you guys. And, it's been too long. I missed last Sunday. It's been the holidays. It's been an absolute whirlwind of a roller coaster. If you can't tell by the way that I look right now, this isn't the best that Professor Nez has looked. But you know what? It's so great to see you guys. And I wanted to this could be potentially, maybe not, but it could potentially be the last stream of 2018. And I want to talk about what I believe is tantamount to your success, what I think is the most important. Success doesn't always mean monetary. Success doesn't always mean followers or subscribers. Success doesn't always mean status, okay? Success to me is you're doing something that invigorates you. You're doing something that you're good at. And you feel that pulsing, locomotive in your chest, as I like to call it. You feel feverish. You feel itchy, like I do. When I don't see you guys, when I don't live stream, when I don't engage with my Nez Nation awesome community, I get itchy. I get scratchy. I get feverish. I don't know. Call it whatever you want. It's an obsession. But it's something that absolutely, totally revs my engine and invigorates me. What invigorates you? What invigorates you? And I want to talk about this. So Growth Mindset 2019, I think, barring, all of the tactics, and, I think that the tactics are fantastic. I think strategies are fantastic. I think practical tools and strategies, those are all wonderful. This is the root to me. To me, this is the root. Because if you're worried about your outer game, as we say here on Nez Nation Live time and time again, if you're worried about your outer game, the most important game is your inner game, and that's going to suffer. Too many people focus on their outer game and not their inner game. Does that make sense? So good to see you, Ed. Beth says, I spent all afternoon watching Travis. Oh, cool. I'm so excited to see you, Beth. Thank you for being here. Luis, successful means helping others for a better. Now, this is amazing. See, this is what I love about our Nez Nation community. I couldn't have said that better myself, Luis. I absolutely love that, and I couldn't agree more. That's absolutely true. It's important to define what that means. It's important to understand, that you can't expect, a certain level of success. You can't expect success, period, unless you have the right perspective, unless you have the right approach to it. And so I want to kind of talk about this today, and you're going to learn a lot about connecting. What I would say is the marriage between this dude and the dude inside your chest. And the dude inside your chest is 1,000,000 times more important than this dude. And it's all related. And let me start by saying this. What I've kind of discovered and what I've kind of learned through the years when it comes to mindset, and this is a word that gets tossed around everywhere now, self-awareness, and I call it self-investigation and self-actualization. I've been talking about this with my students for over 20 years because you guys know my story. I suffered from debilitating depression and anxiety as a young man. Maybe you didn't know that. And I did my own research. I did my own study. I did my own investigating. And these are the findings that I came up with. And so I wanted to share this with you, what I think would be a story version of what I feel growth mindset means. And let me know in the chat if you've ever heard that term before, growth mindset, which was kind of brought to the forefront of society and culture by Dr. Carol Dweck, who wrote a book on growth mindset success psychology, or growth mindset psychology. She's a psychologist from Stanford. It's just a fantastic book, and something that I've adopted through the years, and it's really just about a major shift. But I want to tell a little bit of a story about what I mean about this dude and this dude being married and how everything's connected. There are some doctors, allow me this story, please. I think it's going to explain this entire stream and why this is the most important live stream of 2018. I think it is. It might even be the most important live stream I've ever executed, and I'm excited to share this with you. There are some doctors, let's say Beth. I'm going to say Beth for an example. There are some doctors that if Beth actually had a knee issue, I'm so good. It's so awesome to see you guys, Ed and Luis. Please share this out. Please share this out as much as you can. I want everybody. This was not a planned live stream by no stretch of the imagination. As a matter of fact, I even thought I was going to just test this public, but you know what? Screw it. I love surprises. I love being put to the, kind of test here and being thrown into the fire head first. I love it. I just love it. So I'm going to go all in. Almost zero preparation. Let's say, Beth is experiencing knee issues. The majority of doctors, if Beth goes into the doctor and says, Doc, I got this knee problem. It's just my knee's been bugging me, and I don't know quite what to do about it. The doctor, typically, most doctors, I'm saying 99% of doctors will do this. They'll say, okay, well, let's take a look at it. Is there any swelling? It looks like there may be a little bit of inflammation. Let's take an x-ray, maybe an MRI. Okay, we found the problem. There's a little bit of synovial fluid in there. You got some buildup. Here's an RX. Here's a prescription. Here's your diagnosis. And, you're all set. That's what the majority of doctors do. But there are some doctors, Nez Nation, that if Beth came into this different type of doctor and said, yo, Doc, I got a knee problem, the doctor wouldn't even talk to her about the knee, wouldn't even ask about her knee, wouldn't even look at her knee. The first question that doctor would pose is, forget about your knee. I want to ask you this serious question. How's your soul? What's going on with everything else? Because it's all connected. And that's really the sort of way I'd like to start this live stream, because that's kind of how I feel about branding, running your own business, whether it's online or what have you, getting your messaging right, communicating your value, discovering your purpose so you can impact your audience. All of that, the nucleus for that, the root of that, is marrying this dude with the dude inside your chest. That's what it's all about. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. And so, come on in. Luis, thank you so much, Luis. Luis says, Professor Nez, you've inspired me in so many ways. The number one thing is to have inner self-belief. 2018 is going to be fire. Believe in yourself. I think you mean 2019. Is that right? Beth says, to be honest, I would not go back to that doctor. Which doctor, Beth? The doctor that asked about your soul? Well, I mean, that's not surprising to me. I think most people would probably share that, actually. I think most people would probably share that sentiment. They probably would do exactly the same thing, because it's a little bit like, well, what do you mean, how's my soul? Or what do you mean, excuse me, this is what I'm accustomed to. This is what I'm used to. Yeah, exactly. And you know what, Beth? I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for your transparency. And that's why I feel like so many people are frustrated. So many people, they see all these people on Instagram talking about their 2018 reflection. I've just reflected on my 2018. I'm so successful. I've doubled my revenue. I've doubled my followers. Aren't I the greatest? And they think, well, gosh, I must be doing it wrong. I'm not, I don't have as many followers as that person. I don't have as much influence as that person. I don't have, the kind of reach that person has, or I'll never, that's where it's people are looking at symptoms, byproducts of the root. That's why you're saying that you won't go see that doctor. Okay, cool. I love it. Beth says I go to a different doctor for my soul. That's fantastic. I'm almost afraid to ask. It's so good to see you, Beth. It's so good to see you, Louise. It's so good to see you, Ed. Flash in your pan. I miss you guys. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. And talk to me. Tell me what you guys think of growth mindset. I mean, to me, it's just capital P perspective, and it's about prioritizing. So many of you, it was interesting. I don't know if Modern Family Man's in here or not, or if you're watching in the replay, please leave in the comments. Let me know. I want to know from you. What do you think about what I just said about the idea of the doctor scenario, the one that just goes straight for the symptoms, straight for the byproduct, and the one that looks at everything from a macro perspective, from a larger, big picture? Doctor of Psychology. Yes, that's exactly right. Oh, man. You had a show last night? I must have missed that. Yeah, we were doing the family thing last night. Sorry I missed that, Ed. I'll have to watch that on the replay. I know your streams are just killer, dude. I love, love, love your streams. You just do fantastic streams, brother. Keep it up. I absolutely just love your streams. That's so cool to hear you say that. I'm so glad that you were able to have a fantastic stream. Make sure you smash that like button, y'all. So if you're watching this on the replay, I definitely want to hear from you. I definitely want to see what your thoughts are on growth mindset and what your idea of success is. What is your definition of success? Because I really want to know. What is your version of success? Leave that in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. So many of us will also, without even realizing it, we will be our biggest self-impediment. So many of us, without even realizing it, we're our biggest hurdle to overcome. So many of us, without even kind of being, a little bit more cognizant of our situation, so many of us are actually sabotaging our own success by looking at the wrong thing. We're prioritizing the wrong thing. We're focusing so much, again, on external, without talking about our inner. What's our inner game going on? What's happening with your inner game? How have you architected your inner landscape, your inner foundation? Because if you've got an inner foundation that is vulnerable, that is weak, that has been neglected, sometimes grossly neglected, even mildly neglected, it's impossible to build an empire on that. It's impossible to build anything on that. I'm a living example of that. There were many, many times, I would have to say, every single thing that I did in my life, every failure that I faced, every sort of, every time that I didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve, it was solely based on my own obstructionism from my own creation. I got in my own way. I was looking at the wrong thing. I wasn't prioritizing. So what I want you to do for 2019, if you want to grow your YouTube channel, if you want to grow your presence, if you want to build passive income, if you want to make money online, if you want to build a personal brand that can give you not only a lucrative opportunity to leave your 9-to-5, quit your 9-to-5, which I'm all for that, create a life of your own, of freedom and happiness, then it's really important that you get this dude straight and this dude straight. You prioritize. And the first thing that I would say is accepting the fact that failure is a part of the process. This is what happens all the time. I've got so many clients that literally, I'm going to give you a very, very hyperbolic example, as a matter of fact. It's awesome, Luis. I love it. So glad to hear you say that, Luis. And I love this acronym, First Attempt in Learning. You're absolutely right. I love that. I work with so many clients, and, they are sick and tired of their 9 to 5. They're sick and tired of working for somebody else. They're sick and tired of making money for other people. Thank you so much, Beth, for sharing. I appreciate it. They're sick and tired of just the grind. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired. I've been there. I mean, guys, you may not know this, but before I really launched my coaching agency and my online academy specifically, which, by the way, Beyond the Box Academy right there, this is the #1 academy taught by an actual professor, somebody who was born to coach and train and live stream. We're busting new content, new courses, digital courses, lifetime access at reasonable prices every single month, helping you to grow, expand, become a better business person, become a better leader, become a better human being. Every single month, we're going to be dropping more content, more courses. I used to teach, before I started these businesses, I used to teach like 14 classes a semester. I was one of those freeway flyers, as they call it. I was working at 7 different universities just to put, food on the table. I was kind of an entrepreneurial professor, if you really think about it. I was working from 6:30 in the morning. I wouldn't get home till 10, 11 o'clock at night. And that was 7 days a week. I even taught Sunday classes. Although, let me be fair, 6 days a week. Sunday, I only had a couple of classes. Is Sethi in the house? Oh, yes. Sethi, good to see you, brother. It is so good to see you, man. That is awesome. Great to see you. Beth says, failure is so often the best way to learn. We fear failure. We hide from failure. We need failure. Exactly. Very nice, Ed. You learn from mistakes, and if you don't, you're screwed. And, it's interesting to hear you say that, Flash, because that's another thing, too. And somebody had mentioned this. I can't remember where, but they mentioned this. It's so good to see you, Sethi. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas with your beautiful family. So let me get back to, so I was working 6 days. I dreaded waking up. And this was for a long time because I live in California. You might be asking yourself, Nez, why did you teach so many classes? Because A, they don't pay professors jack. They could give a rat's butt about any professors. They don't care at all about their professors. The university system is the most cutthroat. It puts corporate America to shame. If you think that the corporate culture is soulless and flip backwards, the educational, I'm sure Sethi would back me up on this, the educational institution, the bureaucracy that goes on in education, nobody gives a flying F about anybody. None of the professors show any camaraderie. The administrative staff could care less about you. HR could care less about you. You never, ever get thanked. There's never, ever an expression of gratitude. The only people who show gratitude are students, which I love my students, right? There's a reason why our educational system is going down the toilet and faster than lightning. It is fast. Oh, yeah. Teaching at any level. That's exactly right. Beth. You're absolutely right. Teaching at any level. And so, yes, exactly. That's exactly what we're talking about, Sethi. So it's I get it. I completely get, wanting to leave and wanting to get out of it, but you have to think about prioritizing, and you have to think about baby steps. I even experience this with people in my field, people who are, building businesses left and right in the online space, people who are live stream influencers or podcast influencers. They don't understand that, if something's not working, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with it, that you should quit it. And I'm going to get back to my clients in just a second. If something's not working, first of all, that's a mindset shift. How do you classify when something's working or not? How do you classify that? How do you characterize that? You know what I mean? How do you define something not working and working? How do you define success and failure? Who are you comparing yourself to? Who are you measuring yourself towards? Growth mindset is all about focusing on your inner game. Growth mindset is all about focusing on perspective. Growth mindset is all about focusing on what takes priority. Do I have an objective stance on this? Do I have an objective perspective on my success, on my future, on the pace and frequency of growth? So many people want growth right now. I want it right now. I want money right now. I want success right now. Well, I just built an e-commerce store, Nez. I have 1 million clients that do this. I just built an e-commerce store, Nez, and nothing's working, so I'm going to quit. Wait, excuse me? Exactly, Luis. Exactly. People want it right now. They want it right now. And that's just not how it works. And I'm telling you right now, it's not just people who are getting into this, so-called beginners. I'm saying this even with people who are so-called influencers in my space. I've worked with them. I've talked with them. I've, been to the same conferences and events. I've networked with them. I'm amazed at how little they pay attention to their inner game, how little they pay attention to the way that they see the world. That's what a growth mindset is. How do you see the world and how do you see others? That's what it's all about. You have to have an intelligent mirror. You have to have an intelligent mirror that you can look into and you can see things as they are, not in this muddled, masked, biased lens. You got to wipe your lens clean every single day. 2019, 2019. 2018, 2028, 3028, it doesn't matter. If you're watching this 3,000 years from now, it's the same old song. It's the same old dance. Who are you? Inside. Not male, not female, not business owner, not influencer, not YouTuber. Who are you in here? In here, in your chest. How are we coming in, guys? Are we getting a little bit of lag here? Looks like we're getting a little bit of lag. So that's the first that's happened. Okay. Let me know how the quality's coming in, guys. Guys, can you hear me right now? How's the quality coming in? Let me know. Okay, give me 1 second here. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me see. Okay, let me see here. Okay, it says good quality here. Okay, 1 second. Let me, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I thought I fixed this, guys, but for some reason... So is it coming in a little bit? Yeah, looks like it's coming in a little bit buffery. Thought I fixed this. I apologize. Talks amongst yourselves. Thank you. Yeah, that's the first time that I've had a little bit of 1,000. That's right. That's the first time I've had a little bit of issues here. But it looks like we're back. Okay, so this is really important. Another thing I want to say. This is so good, Luis. Luis, you're just dropping absolute wisdom grenades. Your narration and journey in life is what makes your true inner self shine. Now it is up to you to make things happen. I absolutely love it. Okay, thank you so much. Let me know if there's any other issues. I'm getting the high quality mode keeps leaving in and out here. So another thing that really matters, and I'm using my own experience as an example, is that it's always been this way with me. And I'd love to hear from you guys as well. Hey, Luke, good to see you. Merry Christmas. Hope you had a wonderful holiday. It's always been this way for me. Whenever I have transcended that first little hump of, again, this dude right here, should I? What am I doing? Does this make any sense? I'm not as good as that person. I'm never going to be like that. Look how complicated that person's live stream setup is. The inner and eternal doubter who's constantly telling you no, 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 no. As soon as I understood and was aware that was just an apparition, and that took years of suffering, because think about it. What do you mean I'm not supposed to listen to that guy inside my head? That's the guy inside my head. Well, there's usually a couple guys inside your head. And the guy inside your head who's constantly doubting and judging, that's the dude you shouldn't be listening to. The dude that lives in here, inside your chest, that is somebody worth listening to. Whenever I've denied my intuition, whenever I've listened to other people over my own inner fire, whenever I've listened to so-called experts or so-called strategists or so-called this and that, it's always led me astray. It really, really has. Can anybody tell me that they felt the same way? Hybrid Steel, good to see you, Hybrid Steel. Fantastic. So great to see you. All right. Fantastic, Luke. It's good to see you, brother. Thank you so much, man. Share this out. Make sure you hit that like button. Fantastic. I had to go live. We've been experiencing the Christmas holidays, and it's been just an absolute whirlwind, a roller coaster of family and dinner and coming over and driving, all into the mountains to see people. Just insanity. And it's just nice to kind of sort of get back. And I wasn't really planning on going live today. I mean, I kind of had an inkling that I would, but and I didn't really, there's nothing really planned here, but. And, it's funny because I was thinking, I'm going to go live and I want to give my audience something, more, relevant to branding and messaging and get what this channel is all about. We're all about personal branding. We're all about trying to help you to discover and identify who it is that you are and what you're trying to bring to the table and how you can impact your audience. But I want to get real with y'all. I'm sorry I missed that, Hybrid. I'll have to catch that replay. So many live streamers, so many podcasters, so many content creators in the Nez Nation family. I just absolutely love y'all. And so I wanted to go live and talk about something that I feel like nobody's really talking about. And that's the real raw truth when it comes to, success in this domain, when it comes to success in this time period. Some people say we're facing the most anxietal time in the history of mankind. I don't know if that's true or not. I have no idea. But it certainly feels that way, I guess, at times. It feels like more and more people are experiencing anxiety. I'm not 100% positive that that's the case. But I've been seeing some patterns, and I've been recognizing some paradigms, and I've been recognizing from just my observations and my own experiences based on my own intuition and my own research. This is what I feel, and this is all very experiential. This is what I feel has catapulted me into success. And again, I define success by doing that which invigorates you, by feeling purposeful, by feeling, you belong somewhere. It's really about belonging. It's not about money. It's not even about doing something you love, which is fantastic, but I don't want to say that because I feel like that's been completely over abused. Do what you love. Do what you're passionate about. Feel invigorated. What makes this dude want to pop outside your chest? What gets you pumping? What gets you itchy? Yes, thank you, Sethi. That's exactly right. I love it. Thank you so much, Sethi. And so, yeah, they do. I totally agree, Luis. I couldn't agree more. Luis says sometimes unexpected live streams turn out to be the best ones. That's absolutely right. Hey, it's Christian, my number one mod. How are you, brother? Good to see you, Christian. Christian is in the house, your friendly neighborhood astronomer. I love your channel, man. I just absolutely dig it so much. It's so good to see you. How are you, Christian? I hope you had a wonderful holiday. It's so fantastic to see you. Sethi, I like the way you said that. Yep, I like the way you say that. Do what makes you feel like getting up early in the morning. Yeah, and going to bed late at night, even when you're tired. I like that. If you're upset that you have to go to sleep, I've said this in a previous live stream. If you're mad that you have to go to sleep, if you're pissed that you have to go to sleep, you're doing something you love. I remember editing a vlog at like 2:30 in the morning and my wife coming into the room, my studio, and saying, "What are you doing still up?" And she was absolutely right. I was like, "Oh my God, this is insane. I've got work tomorrow." But it was the greatest feeling. It was the greatest feeling because, I had the best sleep that night because I went to sleep knowing that I was doing something that just got me so jazzed up. And I want that for everybody. And it comes with perspective. It comes with working on your inner game. It comes with prioritizing. It comes with focusing on what's important, focusing what's meaningful for you, focusing on what's going to make you better. And if you trust your intuition, because so many times now we're bombarded everywhere we go, we're bombarded with content, we're bombarded with so-called experts, we're bombarded by all this information, and it can just be overload. I mean, you just can fry your brain, with all this information. And so, no, you know what? You guys are all no, Luis. You and Christian probably have been the steadiest, and you and Christian are on the same level for sure, Luis. Luis, you've been there since the orig. Christian is fantastic. Sethi, I mean, you're all awesome. I love you guys so much. I really do. And no need to be jealous. Trust me. You're so sweet. I love it. Uh-oh, look what I've started. A mod fight. Elizabeth, good to see you. Elizabeth's in the house. Fantastic. Elizabeth Lucy. Great to see you, Elizabeth. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas holiday. I apologize if the quality is not coming in like it should. Let me see. I wonder if my stream size... Yeah, it's 720. I don't know why. It should be coming in strong. I know you are, Luis. Don't worry about it. And so that's been my biggest. Make sure you hit that like button. Smash that like button. Let me know what you think. What are your thoughts on having a strong mindset, and what does that even mean? We throw those terms around all the time. What does it mean to have a strong inner game versus an external game? Nothing wrong with having a strong external game. I just like to focus on your inner game because I know that that's where my bread and butter is. That's where I'm going to win. That's where I'm not going to... You know what it's really about? You know what growth mindset is really about? Is not sabotaging yourself and not allowing the little petty things to trip you up, which we do this constantly. We allow the petty things to screw us up constantly. It's a constant battle. I guarantee you, if you really paid attention, if you guys really paid attention half the time, that you would recognize that you're probably focused, okay? That you're probably focused on... There's been days where you've been focused on small, petty things for an entire 24-hour... I'm being nice here. Maybe even longer than 24-hour period. And at one moment you snapped out of it and you said, what in the world have I been thinking about for this long, and why? Was I really worried and stressing over what that guy said to me, and at the gym? Is that really what I've been focusing on? Yes, that's what you've been focusing on. Why? Why were you focusing on that? And don't get me wrong, are you allowed to have days where, you're not as maybe strong or you're not as focused as others? Of course. And this is the major apex of what I want to get across in this live stream. You're going to have lapses. You're going to have stumbles. You're going to have fumbles. You're going to fall. You're going to fall over and over and over again. It doesn't matter how many times you fall. It doesn't matter how many times you get punched in the face. It doesn't matter how many times you failed. One of my favorite quotes, I think I've quoted Winston Churchill in here before. One of my favorite quotes. Yeah, of course you can, Luke. Don't worry about it. You can say something. One of my favorite quotes is from Winston Churchill when he says, the definition of success is going from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm. Or something like that. Somebody correct me on that. Yeah, it's one of my favorite songs. Chumbawamba? What was the name of that group, Hybrid? I get knocked down, but I get up again. Oh my God, I'm probably going to get a copyright strike, right? I can't even sing that. Am I allowed to even like lip sync or sing something like that? Or probably not, right? How's the quality coming in, guys? Let me know. I'm so sorry. Chumbawamba, the British rock group, Chumbawamba. I love it. Sethi, I want to get back to your comment. My inner game is mental. Makes for a billion new projects popping into my mind. However, some reflection and slowing down helps. That's another thing that I want to talk about. Thank you, Sethi, for reminding me. That's another thing I want to talk about. You get caught up in this game of, keeping up with Snapchat or Instagram or all the social media trends or all the posts. You get caught up in that hamster wheel of post, consistency. I need to keep going, hustle. I need to hustle. I hate the word hustle. Don't ever use the word hustle in this stream, ever. I don't ever want to hear the word hustle again. Yo, man, I hustle really, really hard. I don't ever want to hear that word. I'm done with that word. Finished. I want to give a funeral for the word hustle. That's what I'd like to do more than anything. Thank you so much, Christian. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Thank you, Elizabeth. It's so good to see you. I like that, Elizabeth. Elizabeth says something interesting. Elizabeth says, journaling helps me keep my mindset game strong. Yeah, reminders. We need reminders. As I've said time and time again on my stream, as I've said time and time again on this channel, there's nothing original about Professor Nez. There's nothing special about Professor Nez. Everything that I'm talking to you about right now, and in every single video that I've ever produced, every single piece of content, blog post, what have you, podcast, which, by the way, guys, we're everywhere now. If you go on Spotify, you go on iTunes, you go on Google Podcasts, Breaker Radio, Radio Public, we are everywhere. Anchor, you will find the Nez Nation Live Personal Branding 101 podcast, and you should subscribe, and you should write us a review on iTunes. It would really mean a lot to us. We get caught in that, mindset, that hustle mindset, and we forget to breathe. And that's what you mean. I think that's what Sethi you mean, is you got to breathe once in a while. You have to get away. You got to get away. Solitude is a great gift. I love solitude. You got to get away once in a while. Beth, journaling is like academic writing for the class, your life 101. Yeah, it's even better. It's way better than academic writing. I wouldn't even compare journaling with academic writing. Academic writing can be pretty damn boring. So yes, that's a great piece of advice from Elizabeth Lucy. Reminding yourself. We suffer from permanent temporary amnesia. You've heard me say that before. Human beings forget things quick, and they forget things fast. And that's just the way it is. They just do. They forget things all the time. So this happens. This is just a part of being a human being. Yes, modern day family man. Good to see you. Come on in. This is just a part of being a human being. So we need those reminders, which is what I love about all you guys subscribing to my channel. If I can just be a reminder, that's all I want. Because I remember. Now, why? Why, Nez? Why do you want to be a reminder? Why do you go live all the time? Why do you talk about things that most of us don't even care to even hear about? What are you doing, Nez? What are you doing, Nez? It's because I remember the absolute lightning bolt that slammed me in my dome when great artists, creators, writers, musicians, painters, what have you, just creators in general, inspired me and reminded me about what I had inside. People like Woody Guthrie, Jack Kerouac, Mozart, Walt Whitman. I mean, the names, it goes on and on and on. I can't even think of, half the dudes and dudettes who have sparked that inner lightning. That's why I do it. It's funny. I thought there was no greater feeling than being inspired, but there's actually one more feeling that actually surpasses being inspired, and that's inspiring others. And I love that feeling. So this isn't Mother Teresa, even though I love bringing value to you guys and it makes my world sing. But listen to what I just said right there. This is why I really, truly do mean it when I say there's nothing special about Professor Nez. I'm not original. This stuff has been mentioned 1 billion, trillion, 6 billion times in the past. I'm just delivering it for a modern audience and hopefully reminding you. That's what I'm doing. Modern day family man in the house. Good to see you. Fantastic. It's so good to see you. So Luke, what are you talking about here? Let's see. What's Luke saying here? Luke, let me bring your comment up, Luke. I don't see it. Hold on a second. So Luke says, I try again everything in my life. What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say, Luke? Talk to me. I'd love to. By the way, I'll take questions. I'm happy to take questions. As always, super chats get first dibs. My mods will take care of that. Oh, it totally is. Very, very, very well said, Beth. Anybody who claims that they're unselfish, anybody who claims that they're doing it for others, I'm always doing it for others. That's a bunch of hogwash. That's total hogwash. You're not doing it for others. You're doing it because it makes you feel amazing. I'm giving $1 to this homeless person because I love to do for others. No, you don't. You're buying guilt-free emotion. You're buying a relief from your guilt. That's what you're doing. You're purchasing a relief for you feeling greedy, or you feeling unworthy, or you feeling ungiving. It gives you a dopamine rush to help others. It definitely does. And I don't, hide behind, I make no bones about that feeling. I make no bones about what I do. And all these people who are like, I just love to bring value. I just love to help others. No, you're doing it for yourself. It makes you feel amazing. And it makes me feel amazing too. Hybrid says, I'm doing YouTube to have a hobby, but I'd like to get to a point where I'm doing this for myself as an income. Well, Hybrid, I think you have the right type of mindset for success on YouTube, because you understand, unlike most, that success on YouTube, success in the online space, it's really 3 key things. You got to work your absolute butt off, and you've got to be consistent, okay? And I truly believe this. You have to understand that perspective trumps everything else. Having a perspective on that growth. It's not going to happen today. It's probably not going to happen tomorrow. It may not even happen many, many tomorrows from now. But if you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, especially if it invigorates you, you will eventually win. And when I say win, that's relatively speaking. You may not be Kardashian. You may not be, let's not even say Kardashian. Maybe that's too far. I don't know, a Lewis Howes or a Tony Robbins or whatever. But you will have the type of success that you want. Luke says, I try so hard to study in school, and I do this as a subject, and I do this to help others out. Okay, fantastic, Luke. Keep doing it. That sounds great. What's your major malfunction? That's from a movie. I mean, you don't have a major malfunction. Modern day family man, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. It's so great to see you. Louise has a great comment here. Inner gain is self-belief in yourself. Yeah. It all starts when and then it trickles down to others. Yes, that's exactly right. You may be inspiring people without you even knowing it. You may be inspiring. You may be moving. You may be creating change and affecting change without even knowing it. There's been many times where people have come up to me and said, "Hey, Nez, I gotta say you're a huge inspiration." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Huge inspiration? I don't even know who you are. What do you mean? I don't remember seeing you on my stream. I don't remember seeing any comments." And they're like, "Oh yeah, I saw one little clip on whatever, Twitter or something, and it totally changed my world." I was like, "Whoa, that's really cool. That's awesome." Sethi says, winning is not only in finances, winning is leaving your mark and being you, which makes you feel amazing. Yes. Well said. That is exactamundo. That is exactamundo, right. Is anybody experiencing any pixelation on their end? Anybody experiencing any pixelation? I just was curious. Yeah, I agree with Beth, Luke. You don't have to comment with all caps. That's not necessary. Okay, thank you, Luis. Okay, thank you, Hybrid. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the feedback. The major mistake I made is when I hurt people that I love. Okay, if you could give me a little bit more context on that, I would love that. You're going to hurt a lot of people you love, maybe inadvertently, without intending to. But you got to live your life. You have to live your life. It's your life. And if you live your life dictated by others, you're going to be a miserable wreck for the rest of your life. And if they truly loved you, they would never want you to live a life that is beneficial to them, but that's making you contradict everything that you want. So I would say that, thank you so much, Modern Day Family Man. I would say that, thank you, Beth. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Okay. Cool. That's cool. Are you watching it on TV or something, Hybrid? That's cool. Great to see you, man. That's awesome. Hopefully you had a wonderful holiday in the UK. My UK peeps in the house. Where's Crypto at? I don't see Neil. Where's Crypto? I hope you're watching the replay, Neil. Miss you, man. It's so good to see Sethi in the house. I love it. Sethi, you must be off or something. Is that correct? I make more money on this channel, but it was my weight loss channel that I really felt like I accomplished something. Not only because I was losing weight, because I was also helping a lot of people. Another thing with a growth mindset, is stop trying to live in the past and welcome the adaptation, welcome the evolution of who you are. You are going to evolve time and time again. As a matter of fact, you're evolving right now just by listening to this podcast or this live stream. That evolution is meant to take place. Your 40-year-old self is definitely not going to have the same interests, definitely not going to have the same outlook on life as your 30-year-old self, your 20-year-old self, definitely not your 20-year-old self. And embrace those changes. And why I'm saying this is going to give context to my next statement. If you would have told me, Nez, at a 25-year-old, 24-year-old, that serving others is the greatest feeling on earth, I would have given you one of the middle finger and been like, you're out of your damn mind. Not in a million years. No ways. What do you mean serving others? I'm here to look out for me and myself. I'm here to look out for mines. What you mean serving other people? That's how I probably would have answered you. But it's amazing, this thing called life. And here's the ultimate thing that's probably going to shock a lot of you, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. And I know Ed and others are going to totally get this. Most of you, Sethi, Luis, most of you evolved old souls are totally going to get this, but some of you might not get this. You do not have complete control over your life. As a matter of fact, you have very little control over your life. You don't have free will, but you have free choice. And I'll tell you the difference. Things are going to happen in your life that you never expected. If you would look back 5-6 years ago and be like, I didn't see I mean, there's no way I would have saw myself here 5 years ago, let alone maybe even 2-3 years ago. Life has a way of unfolding with or without your consent, okay? You either accept that or you fight it. That's where free choice comes from. You either accept that or you fight it. I use the metaphor that life is this aircraft carrier. And most of us are rowing like crazy. If we just trust that the aircraft carrier is going to get us to where we need to go, your life is going to be a lot more filled with ease, peace, less suffering, and less stress. That's a guarantee. I know that may come as shocking to a lot of you, but most of the Nez Nation family is completely hip to, mature, intelligent, sophisticated concepts, and I think you guys get it. Very cool, Hybrid. I think that's awesome. So, Luke, what are you talking about here? I helped people out one day ago. As a guy was on the street, and what makes me so upset, seeing people on the street at Christmas. Yeah, it is upsetting. I totally agree with you, Luke. But that's not something that should ruin, your Christmas. There's only so much you can do. You're putting on so much don't put that kind of burden on yourself that you're responsible for the world. The people who feel like there's a big kind of sector of people out there that put the whole world on their back and they think they can carry it and be all right and still worry about all the little peccadillos that happen in their life. It's just not that simple. It's way too complex. There are things that are happening that are actually meant to happen time and time again that we have zero control over, but they're meant to happen, and it's part of the cycle of life. So don't trip out on that too much. Sethi says, I would not be friends with the 20-year-old me. Goodness, no, of course not. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Hybrid Steel, the teen version of me was a douchebag. I would have punched the teen Nez. Trust me. Probably. Sethi says, I went from being the 14-year-old kid, we all know, to standing in front of class and... Oh, man, I can share that, brother. I can totally share that. I love that. Flash says, in my adolescence, I was... Hold on, let me see where your comment is here. In my adolescence, I was not a very good student. Yes. Why does that come as a huge shock to me? That's fantastic. Yes, absolutely, Luis. That's okay, Luke. I know it's sad. Yeah, that's great. Good for you. I don't know what the issue is. I'm confused, Luke. That's fantastic. Good for you, man. That's great that you did that. That's very sweet of you to do that. You notice how where's Stony Creek? You notice how nobody has dissed the beard. I got roasted last time I had this kind of, I don't know if this is like 5 o'clock. This is more like 10 o'clock shadow. 10 o'clock at night shadow. Nobody's been roasting me on Beardgate. Remember Beardgate? Nobody remembers Beardgate? Oh, I love it. Okay, Hybrid says, your life is completely focused on a goal that's unreachable. The journey for perfection is impossible as there's no such thing as perfection. Yeah. I mean, that's not a beard. It's not. It really isn't, Hybrid. It totally isn't. Hey, Arthur Moorhead. Good to see you, Arthur. Fantastic. Great to see you. Make sure you smash the like button. Who has smashed the like button or smashed the smash button? I want to see some smashing of that smash button, that big thumbs up. Hit it, y'all. Hit that thing, will you? Good to see you, Arthur. I hope you had a wonderful holiday. Yeah. Yeah, thanks a lot, Flash. I appreciate it. Yes, Luke, you can say something. You've been saying something. Say something. But say something that I can kind of understand, please, because I'm not really sure I understand. Oh, my God, that's classic. That is so classic. Beard, I didn't notice I was into the message. Thank you, Luis. That just shows me. Thank you, Modern Day Family Man. That just shows me. That just tells me how powerful the content is. The content is so powerful, you can't even think about my looks or my physicality. I love that. That makes me feel a lot better. Yeah, Sethi, I can relate to that more than anything. If anybody would have told me as a young person that I was going to be standing in front of classrooms all over the state and giving speeches on personal branding and doing live streams like this on YouTube, I would have been like, you are totally NVTS nuts. That was a little History of the World reference, by the way. Old comedy film. Fantastic Mel Brooks comedy. It's more like a 10 o'clock shadow. I don't know if it's a 5 o'clock shadow. Yes, absolutely. I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much, Launchpad. And so here's what I'd like to here's how I'd like to kind of bring this back to the sort of the aircraft carrier metaphor. Because I had no clue that I was going to be here, because I had absolutely no hint that this was how I was going to spend my life, I began to realize that, this whole kind of thing called life, you're not living life. Life is kind of living you. And so, but that's scary to a lot of people because a lot of people love to have control over everything. A lot of people love to think that they are the sovereign of their universe. Your inner game, yeah, but, out there, like people being homeless and politics and people bombing each other. I'm not saying there's not things you can do about it. Of course there's things you can do about it. But I would like to stress that I feel that getting away from that whole put the world on your back mentality, that's a tough gig, y'all. That's a tough gig to take on. And I just don't think that it really leads anywhere, but even more frustration, even more suffering. The greatest thing I think you can do for the world is to work on your inner game and the reverberations of that light. It shines on all points of the earth. If you work on your inner game and you work on you, you're actually doing good for the world. Trust me. Because if you go back to that early metaphor about the doctor who asks about your soul, not just your knee issue, everything is connected. And this is not Oprah talk. This is not, any kind of Timothy Leary trip or any kind of hibbity-dibbity, namby-pamby thought. It's very practical. Everything. We all. I mean, Launchpad, for the love of God, the universe, looking at the universe, how connected are we to the universe? Where do we get our nitrogen? Where do we get the iron in our blood? We get them from supernovas. Correct me if I'm wrong, Christian. This is fantastic. It's living proof that we're all connected. It's a pleasure meeting you too, Luke, and I want you to keep coming back. I really think that this, especially this show, will be very, very good for you, and I mean that. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. So yeah, Timothy Leary, that's right. Yes, of course. I know the godfather of LSD. Are you kidding me? I know Allen Ginsberg. I know Kerouac, the Wavy Gravy, the Merry Pranksters. I know where you come from, Ed. Don't worry. Hey, Ed, it's Nez, baby. I got you. I got everybody. I know. I got dibs on everything. Hey, California Gold Rush in the house. Good to see you, brother. All right, fantastic. Yes, very nicely said, Christian. I love the way that you just said that. Absolutely. Yeah, I just love the way you said that, Christian. We are all stardust. That is fantastic. And I'm trying to look for your comment, and so I can bring it up, because I just love the way that you said that, and I can't seem to find it. Let's see here. Okay, so that's really interesting. Some of the comments aren't actually coming through on Restream. That's really interesting. Yeah, man, California Gold Rush. I had a feeling he was. I'm not that slow, Flash. I kind of had a feeling he was connected to you. It's Nez, baby. That's right. But I want to get to. I love what Christian said. We are stardust. We are golden. We are billion-year-old carbon, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. Love that. That is awesome. Oh yeah, we. You never know what's going to be brought up in a Nez Nation live stream. I mean, we could talk about LSD. We could talk about aliens from another exoplanet. We can talk about, fertilizer. You never know. I mean, in all honesty, and this is in complete earnest, in my class, and I'm sure Sethi and Christian and others can relate to this. In my class, I reference sometimes the weirdest things on earth, or so-called weird. They're not weird to me. Because as I said before, I'm not just saying this. I truly do believe all the arts, all the crafts, all the humanities, they all are connected. Everything is connected. And you can learn just as much about life, the universe, and your place in it by just going to sit in a park by yourself as you can, taking all these courses or studying or researching. I truly, truly believe that. You can learn just as much by the way a cat walks down a dark alley about life and things as you can sitting in a physics class or what have you. You need to keep your eyes open, and this is what I really want to talk about. Make sure you smash that like button, California Gold Rush. Oh man, I wish you were in my class too, CGR. I would have loved to have had you in my class. You would have had a blast. Is Stony Creek here? Finally, we've got Stony. Okay, now it's a real Nez Nation live stream. Hello, Stony. Good to see you, man. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful holiday. How are you, sir? Good to see Stony Creek in the house. Fantastic. I love it. Absolutely love seeing you, Stony. It's so good to see you. So yeah, Hybrid, you would have loved my class. And you know what? I'm going to keep bringing more content from the classroom because I've been getting a lot of good feedback on that. So I'm going to bring more and more and more content from the classroom, and you guys are going to see that. Don't worry about that. You are definitely going to see that. I want to bring more because I want to bring that experience to everybody because it's really my most powerful. I'm really in my element when I'm there in the classroom. Fantastic, Stony. I am so happy to see you. I missed you guys so much. It's so good to see you guys. YOLO, baby. That's right, Luis. You only live once. I could not agree more. So getting back to kind of this idea of awareness, of alertness, of attentiveness. I want to call this attentiveness. 3 degrees. Professor Nez has 3 degrees. I can throw them all in the trash can and light them on fire compared to the ultimate professor, which is LIFE, life, experience, paying attention. It really comes down to one thing, just paying attention. What are you focused on? What really matters? What takes priority? Your attention, to me, what you pay attention to is your absolutely ultimate currency. Because once you give something attention, you give it power. You give it power. If you give attention to a thought, you give it power. If you give attention to somebody's opinion, you give them power. If you give attention to a TV station or a news broadcaster or an influencer or a family member, you give them power. That's why I appreciate beyond belief that you guys are giving me your attention. It means the absolute world to me. You have no idea how much it means to me. So don't ever forget that. What are you giving attention to? This is what really growth mindset has a lot to do with. What are you giving attention to? Is it worth your attention? Is it worthy of your attention? Do you really need to worry about what that person said to you down the hallway and at work or at the gym or at Target? Do you really need to worry about, your mom who maybe doesn't really know who you are, but who's judging you? Like, what are you doing going live? Why are you going live and making a fool of yourself? What are you giving attention to? You need to get rid of toxic people in your life. You need to get rid of toxicity, period, in your life. And the person that you're giving the most attention to right now in your life might be the most toxic and might be the catalyst for you not reaching what you want to reach. That's going to really make you feel invigorated. What really makes you feel invigorated? I hope that makes sense. I really, truly hope. Let me know in the chat if that makes sense to you guys. Yeah, very well said, CGR. I couldn't agree more. Very, very well said. Arthur says, I tried to go live, but I only have Wi-Fi now that I'm disconnected. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Arthur, but it's great to see you, man. How are you watching this right now? Are you at Starbucks or something, Arthur? It's good to see you, man. What are you giving your attention to? There's a lot of things that we don't have control over in life, but you have absolute sovereignty over what you focus on. That is the definition. That is the epitome of what a growth mindset is. So in 2019, I want to know in the chat right now, and if you're watching this on the replay or listening to this on the podcast, send me a DM, go on Twitter, make sure you tag me at Professor Nez and use the hashtag NezNation right here. Use the hashtag NezNation and let me know what you're focusing on in 2019. And this is what I want you to do, because I want to leave you with a little bit of practicality. I want to leave you with really something that is tangible, something that will really help you. I want you to write down what you're going to focus on in 2019, and then I want you to prioritize. Focus, attention, not what's going to get me subscribers, not, I'm focusing on growth, I'm focusing on money. I want you to focus on, I want you to tell me, I want you to list down for me, what are your focuses, what you're going to give attention to in 2019, and then take a hard look after you write them down. Take a hard look at those, or put them in your notes. I mean, you don't have to write them down, like actually write them down. Just put them somewhere where you can physically see them. Maybe it's just on your screen, or maybe it's just in a comment. And then take a hard look at that and be like, wait, that's what I'm going to focus on in 2019? Is it really worth me focusing on that in 2019? How is that going to help me? What priority does that take in my life? I want you to write that and then take a look at it. Hybrid, I love that. Me too, man. I've gained so much weight in the past 5 years. Ever since I've had kids, I've gained a ton. Very cool. I have a pin on my Twitter. Okay, very cool. Tag me, retweet that, Luis, and tag me in it. I'd like to check it out. Very, very cool. That's awesome. Very cool, Hybrid. That's really cool. I'm going to have to check that out. Send me the link to that. I love it. I absolutely love it. What you give attention to becomes your reality. What you focus on becomes your life. Is it worth you focusing on that? Yes, I'm on Instagram. If you go to, thank you, CGR. If you go to you could just Google Professor Nez and I'll probably come up on Instagram, or go to my website, professornez.com. I have a Instagram icon, or my handle on Instagram is Professor_Nez. So that's my handle on Instagram. As a matter of fact, I would actually love for you guys to follow me on Instagram if you're not already. So let me actually put I'm just going to put my handle, and I'll put it right here. This is my actual, it's Professor_Nez. That's my handle on Instagram. So hopefully can you guys see that right there? That's my handle right there on Instagram, if you want to follow me on Instagram. No worries. Very, very cool. Very cool, CGR. I totally appreciate you. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. I really, really do appreciate you and everything that you do. Very cool, Arthur. I'm happy to hear that, man. You know, I love that. And that's what you're focusing on, trying to sell your art now. Very good. That's a good focus. And look, I'm not here to judge your focuses. I want you to just pay attention to what you're focusing on. Because so many of us, we just do things like an automaton. We do things robotically. We do things without thinking about it. We do things without reflecting and self-investigating. Is this something that I should actually be doing? Why am I doing it? What's the purpose of me doing it? So it's really, really important that you think about that. Okay, guys? What are you focusing on? I would say that is the beginning of having a growth mindset in 2019. Figure out why this is taking precedence in your life. What you focus on becomes your life. What you pay attention to becomes your life. You got to understand this. It literally becomes your reality. And then you blink and you turn 79, and then it's just too late, to think about woulda, shoulda, coulda. You can't look back and go, what was I thinking? What was I going to, why was I paying attention to that? It's very, very important. You aren't judging. I wanted to win. All right, Beth, did you write down what you're focusing on, Beth? Let me see. I'll do sort of like a fake winner here. Let me see, because you guys are all winners, that's for sure. But let me write down what you're what are you focusing on, Beth? Did I miss it? The child art. Oh my God, it did. You're right. Thank you, Beth. Must have been the draft in here. Thank you, Beth, for pointing that out. I appreciate it. I didn't even notice that. Probably from the door. Yeah, so tell me what you're focused on. Let me know in the chat. I mean, I love what Arthur said. I love what most of you guys have said. I think it sounds great. If you're just joining us, this is my Instagram handle, Professor_Nez. You can follow me on Instagram, and I'll follow you back, especially my Nez Nation family. If you're on Twitch, Periscope, YouTube, I would love to connect with you on Instagram. I am very prominent on Instagram. I mean, when I say prominent, I mean I'm on Instagram a lot. I really do love the platform, and I love reaching my audience there. I really, truly do mean that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Luis. I will definitely check that out. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Fantastic. So if you want to prepare for 2019, I want to end with this. I'm so appreciative of you guys being here in the stream. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. So I'd like to end the stream on this note. If you want to prepare for 2019, if you want to achieve that state of invigoratedness, that state of having locomotives in your chest, that state of feeling purposeful, I'm not going to say do what you love. I'm not going to say you should jump out of bed every morning. Screw that. I don't jump out of bed every morning, and I love my life. I just want you to feel that sense that, you know what? I'm doing something I was meant to do. I'm maximizing my potential. I feel this is my duty on earth. What I'm doing right now, I feel like I was born to coach. I was born to train. I was born to educate. I was born to inspire. I truly feel that's my purpose on this earth. And I said the word duty because one of my favorite writers, Jack Kerouac. Ed, if you're still here, tell these people who Jack Kerouac is, because I don't think anybody else knows who Kerouac is. Kerouac once said that I've discovered that my duty on earth was to become a writer. That's how I feel about what I'm doing right now, coaching, training, and educating. And using this dude right here, my ultimate weapon, my mouth. I was born to do this. And that is where I think stems happiness. That's where stems purpose, this fulfillment, not money, not status, not likes, not followers, not subscribers. So how do you discover that which you were born to do? By being hyperbolically aware, paying very close attention to the things that need your attention, to the things that warrant your attention. And then write down what you're paying attention to the most. And then figure out if you should be paying attention to that. And if you shouldn't be paying attention to that, if that's not going to help you discover what you were born to do, if that doesn't help you discover what you feel you were intended to do with your life, then change it, shift it, take action. That's what I want to leave you with on this live stream. As always, guys, please remember that we are live on iTunes. We're live on Spotify. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification. You can catch all of our content at professornez.com/live streams. You can catch all of our content at professornez.com, or just Google Professor Nez and you'll find me everywhere you want to be the most. Any platform that you reside on the most, I'm probably there. I love you guys so much. You guys absolutely rock. Thank you so much, Sethi. I'm going to go through here. Guys, don't leave. Luis, Ed, Hybrid Steel, CGR, Beth, Christian. I just absolutely love... Roz! Oh, Roz, you just jumped in. I'm about to get out of here. No problem. Don't worry about it, Roz. It was a surprise live stream, but it's so good to see you. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful holiday, and I hope you have a wonderful, happy new year. Stony Creek, so great to see you. Yes, he was an American novelist. Boy, that's a terrible description of him, Flash, for crying out loud. That's all you got? That's like saying, I don't know, that's like saying that, Jack Daniels is a beverage. Come on, Ed, give it a little more flavor. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. You guys absolutely rock. Yes, 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 absolutely. The road. Yes, on the road. Beth says, I'm focusing on streamlining the things and systems in my home and starting to craft on camera. Oh, that's killer. Beth, that you win. Beth, I'm giving it to you right now. You win. That is the best one I've heard so far. I love it. That's fantastic. Christian, it's great to see you. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I absolutely love you guys. By the way, Christian's got, I want to say this, Christian, if it's okay, Christian's got a New Year's Eve live stream that it's just an extravaganza. It's an amazing thing. Go check out Launchpad Astronomy, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification. I know you've got a huge, huge stream coming up, Launchpad, and I'm very proud of you. I'm very honored that you are a family member of Nez Nation, and I just think the world of you, brother. So I really think you're doing great work, and keep doing it. It's just fantastic. I love having you. Flash, did you fix your previous Flash, did you fix your previous yes, spontaneous prose. Very good, Flash. Let's see here. Flash says French Canadian descent. Yes. He is considered a literary iconoclast. Yes. Did you just take that off of Wikipedia? Flash, I wanted you to say it in your own words. For crying out loud, Flash. Oh, boy, oh, boy. What am I going to do with you, Ed? I'm just kidding. I love you. So don't forget, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you want to discover your purpose, what is it that you were intended to do? How to communicate that to an audience so you can impact them, earn more money, get more customers, get more clients, get more subscribers, build your community, then you've got to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Subscribe down below, smash the smash button, and we will see you guys next time. I love you guys. Thank you, guys. See ya.